Okay, this is Primrose. She's telling us about delivering her first child. Okay.
Well, the obstetrician had agreed I didn't have to have an anesthetic.
Uh-huh.
And I've gone into the delivery room after having a big fuss with a nun, of all things. She was a nurse, and she said, I knew I was in the second stage. And she said, oh, stop pushing. You'll be here for hours. This is just your first baby.
Oh, this was you. Okay.
Oh, I thought, well, I wanted to say I told you so badly. Anyway, when I got in the delivery room, this anesthetist, then she said, she told me who she was. I said, oh, I'm not having an anesthetic. I've forgotten the doctor's name now.
Right.
He'd agreed I didn't have to have one.
Uh-huh.
Oh, she said, everybody has one. And I said, no, I'm not going to have one.
Right.
And she said to these other two nurses, strap her down.
Oh,
I thought,
my goodness.
This is my first baby.
Exactly.
An experience I want.
Oh.
Anyway, they grabbed my arms, strapped them down, and she slammed this mask on my face. And I thought, well, I won't breathe. Well, I don't know what she did. I had to breathe.
Oh, of course you did. So were you already a nurse? You were already a nurse, weren't you?
Pardon?
Were you already a nurse?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Did she know that you were a nurse and a midwife?
I don't know whether she did or not. Well,
Oh, my
I
goodness.
told the old nun I was.
Oh, my goodness. That's
But
amazing.
it was just the way she said, strap her down.
Oh, that's awful. Tell me about the first baby you ever delivered out in the mountains. Tell me about the first baby you ever delivered out in the mountains. Do you remember that?
Ooh, I'm trying to think. The first baby I ever delivered.
Or one of the first? One of the
Well,
first.
I delivered one baby at home in a town called Herefordshire,
Uh-huh.
and the people would come and knock on the door where we lived, and
Uh-huh.
it was my turn.
Oh.
And so I got my bicycle out, and I had a flat tire. I was riding through the cathedral grounds. I shouldn't have been doing that, so I got a flat tire.
Oh, no.
Anyway, when I got there, I'd never seen this lady before,
Oh, my goodness.
and she'd had very limited prenatal care.
Uh-huh.
Well, she was already passing meconium, and I thought, oh, this baby's in distress here.
Oh.
And anyway, I delivered the baby with no problem.
Great.
And suctioned him out well.
Right.
And I said to the father, go and get some hot water bottles and warm that little bed up. He's going to need some heat.
Right.
Well, the father came with a great big stone jar and with a top on it.
Oh, how
I said,
funny.
I don't think you'd better put that in the bed. So we wrapped the baby up and let the mother hold him. She warmed him.
Oh, of
But,
course, yeah.
Then while I was delivering the baby, the husband repaired the flat
Your
tire on
flat
my
tire.
bicycle.
Oh, that's so perfect. That's perfect.
But
That's
they
great.
they were really nice people.
Uh-huh.
But it was a bit risky delivering a
I
baby
would say
that
so.
was passing meconium already.
Yeah.
And when I took I was a midwifery student at the
Right.
time. I shouldn't have been
Wow.
on my own, actually.
Of course not, no.
But we were on our own because the old midwife who was supposed to come with us was an alcoholic.
Oh, no.
And she drank gin, and every night she was gone, And we couldn't rely on her.
No,
for
you could
anything.
not. You could not.
And so
Oh.
I got criticized when I took my exam.
I bet.
Why was I delivering this child on my own?
Right.
Well, I hated to say that the midwife was.
Right.
I said, well, the
That's
midwife was
great.
with somebody else.
Oh. Yeah, that's a good cover. That's a good
Oh,
cover.
but, and she used to spend the housekeeping money.
Oh.
And we didn't earn much in those
Right,
days, the
right.
students particularly.
Oh, I'm sure.
And I remember we'd have bread, and we'd spread mustard on bread or
my
jam or anything,
goodness.
but we never had any butter to go on the bread.
Oh.
And for breakfast, we were lucky if there was enough milk for cereal.
Wow.
And
It's amazing.
of course, I was fortunate. I had family members there
that you could go stay with them.
And my parents didn't live I guess 50 miles away.
Okay.
And my father used to come down and
bring you
us food.
That's great.
But those were really interesting times.
Oh, I bet. So when you came over to Kentucky, did you come straight to Kentucky when you came from England? Through Frontier Nursing Service? Was it through? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I came there. I came on a Cunard ship that was really taking immigrants to Canada.
Wow.
They were young women who'd married Canadians during the war.
Right.
And they were going to Canada to live.
Okay.
And we'd been at sea about 3 or 4 days. It wasn't a fast ship, I can tell you. And so we went to Halifax.
Okay.
And then it was the first time I'd seen anything but the blue sea.
Oh.
And there were pine trees growing right down to the shore almost. And the green of those pine trees was wonderful.
Oh, how neat.
I just stood and looked at them.
Oh, I bet. I bet.
But it was a very interesting trip, really.
I bet.
We picked up a lot of young French airmen. We went from Southampton to Le Havre in France, picked up these Frenchmen.
Wow.
Then we went to southern Ireland and picked up a lot of Irish people.
Oh, my goodness. And it was all their first time probably coming over, wasn't it?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's amazing.
And those Frenchmen were all going out to the Air Force School in Colorado.
Oh, yes, it's a great school.
Yeah.
Yes.
And, they kept everybody
I bet.
happy.
I bet. In more ways than one, I'm sure. So, how were you accepted when you came to Kentucky? Were they so thrilled when you came to Eastern Kentucky? Were they happy when you came to Eastern Kentucky? Frontier Nursing Service, were they very welcoming when you came?
Oh, yes.
Oh, I bet.
I didn't much like the journey there. I had to get on a bus in New York.
New York, right.
And my mother insisted that I took my sewing machine. And it was a clumsy, heavy thing.
Oh, that would be.
And I showed it to this Red Cross lady who'd met me. And she said to the cello in the bus station where she was getting my ticket, "Oh, this dear little English girl has brought her suitcase, her sewing machine." He said, "Which piece of luggage is that?" I thought, well, these people are so curious about my sewing machine.
Right.
And she said, "Oh, it's that one." He said, "Take it as personal luggage, ma'am." I said, I can't carry it." He said, "You'll have to, or leave it here."
Wow.
And I thought, I didn't know whether to leave it or take it.
Right.
And because it was so heavy.
Heavy, sure.
He sent all my other luggage on ahead, but he wouldn't touch that sewing machine.
Huh. So did you take it though? Did you end up taking it?
Yeah.
Wow, that would be hard. Did you use it once you got to Kentucky?
Oh gosh, yeah. I made all my little boys' clothes with that sewing machine.
I bet you did.
It was an old-fashioned one, and we turned the handle.
Oh my goodness. I know, my grandmother had one like that.
And but I remember making my little boys' shirts, and
that's
all
so
my baby
neat.
clothes and things like that with it.
That's
It's a very useful thing. I'm glad I didn't
I
leave
bet.
to New York.
I bet.
Yeah.
So did you ride horseback to some places in?
Oh, we rode a lot. We rode horseback a lot.
Now, had you ridden horseback in England before so you knew how to ride a horse?
I'd ridden a horse since I was knee-high to a grasshopper.
Oh, so great.
Yes.
So that's great.
We had to be able to ride a horse and drive.
Okay.
I wasn't very good at driving, but I could ride a horse.
Right.
But I was sent to a center where there's a lot of horse riding down.
Okay, great. Did you have your own horse? Hmm? Did you have your own horse that was kind of your own horse?
Well, she wasn't mine, but...
or use the same one,
yes,
I guess. Right,
Oh,
right.
yeah, I rode her all the time. She was a Tennessee Walker.
Oh.
But it's a real... She really wasn't a good horse from going up and down mountains.
Oh.
She was too big. So
wow.
I used to get off and lead her up the mountain. And then when it was going down, I used to get off and lead her down.
That would be a little scary.
I did more walking than
walking with the Tennessee Walker.
She was a beautiful horse. So she's black. Bet. And her name was Missy.
Oh, that's neat.
Of course, when I left that center, I had to leave her. But I remember one place I went to I delivered the baby there, and I went back
Right.
to check on her.
Uh-huh.
And her husband had bought a freezer.
Uh-huh.
Well, that was, I mean, everybody in the community came to look at this freezer.
Oh, that's great.
He had a,
Uh-oh.
uh-oh. Excuse me.
That's okay.
Hello?
Hi.
Yeah?
You got company?
Yeah, mm-hmm. Sure.
Okay. Lorna called me while I was in Kroger's getting your medicine. I forgot about it. She
Oh,
hadn't heard from you.
well, I'll call her later.
Okay.
Okay?
Don't forget.
No, I won't.
All right, Mom.
Bye, I love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye. Oh, that was my son next door.
Oh, that's cute.
He'd forgotten to tell me that Lorna had called him. She hadn't heard from
Oh,
me.
so she wanted to make sure you're okay.
Yeah.
So the freezer, that's great.
And so she opened it up,
Uh-huh.
and here it was a great stack of squirrels. You know, they eat squirrels.
Yes. Yes.
Well, it was one mass, and I said to her, "How are you going to get these out to cook them?"
Right.
Oh, she hadn't thought of that.
They were all frozen together.
Yeah,
Oh.
it was a thing like that, a
Oh,
great
my
mess.
goodness. Oh.
So her husband came in, and I said, "Oh, well, he hadn't thought of that either." He said, "Oh, I'll take an axe and chop them out."
Oh my goodness.
So that's what he did.
Ah.
So I tried to, I didn't know much about freezing.
Right.
Told them that, to go and get some special paper and wrap it up and put the date on it and
Good idea.
then what it was.
Right.
Not to put it in like that.
Oh, that is funny.
Oh, gosh.
So did you do all the prenatal care? Did you go to their houses to do the prenatal?
Yes.
They never came to a clinic. You always
We
went
had
to
some
them.
clinics.
Okay.
And there was a clinic at a little place called Stinnett.
Uh-huh.
And we used to, we went every week there.
Right.
And the women used to bring their flour sacks and cow feed sacks to exchange with each other
Oh,
because
how
they
neat.
made clothes out of them.
Of course.
They lined quilts with them. They made baby clothes with them. They
Oh.
made dresses with them. Oh, they were lovely.
Oh, that's neat.
And then there was another place I went to. I was riding a horse this time, and
Uh-huh.
these people had a house that was on sort of like stilts.
Right.
And there's rickety old steps up to it. So
Oh.
I went up to see. I've forgotten what I went for.
Uh-huh.
And when I got down, I was about to get on the horse again,
Uh-huh.
and they said, "Come back." So I thought, oh, geez. So I got off the horse and
Uh-huh.
got back up the and I said, "What did you want?"
Uh-huh.
And this man said, "Oh, nothing." I said, "Well, I thought you said come back." He said, "Well, I meant come back anytime and see us."
Oh,
It was
Primrose,
ex-
that's great. An expression.
There was an expression. So I
That's
thought, well,
great.
I will be careful with that.
Exactly, when someone says that.
again.
Oh, that's so great.
And in the same area,
Uh-huh.
I delivered a baby with a student. I had a student
Right.
with me,
Uh-huh.
and we delivered the baby. We heard these chickens cackling,
Uh-huh.
and I said to her, "What do they think they're doing?"
Right.
She said, "Oh, they're killing a couple of chickens. We're going to have fried chicken before we go, and the mother will have fried chicken." Oh, I said, "Oh, I hope not." I said, "Oh, I couldn't bear it." She said, "Oh, you must eat a little piece. It will offend them terribly."
Sure.
So we had fried chicken at the hospital, and oh, that was awful stuff.
Oh, that's funny.
And I remember saying to the student, "What was that stuff we ate at the hospital, fried chicken?"
Uh-huh.
Well, those were old hens that had been stewed all day,
Oh, my.
and then they rolled them in meal and fried them. They looked lovely, but oh, they tasted horrible.
Oh, that's
But
interesting.
these fresh chickens,
Uh-huh.
they prepared the most beautiful meal for us.
Oh, how sweet.
Because we had to stay an hour after we delivered the placenta,
Right, right.
and so during that hour we ate, and the mother ate, and
Oh, that's wonderful.
yeah, it's very nice.
What a special bond.
mhm.
So, what's one of your most memorable that you delivered? Something that really sticks in your mind? Something
Oh,
really.
a girl called Stella.
Oh.
Stella, she lived in it was a shack with a lean-to on it for her kitchen,
Uh huh.
and her husband was a coal truck driver.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the kind of man that he'd work for a while and then he'd quit.
Okay.
And then after time went